What's up, superheroes? Miles here. Just wanted to stop in and let you know that I see the world that we're all looking at right now. I see it just like you do. Um, I have fears and concerns as well, and so each of us sort of has a different place that we're sort of in the system. The big machine that sort of we've created that runs all of this. Uh, you know, we all have a different role to play, and we have a different, a different part of the machine that we interact with. Some of us all interact with certain parts of it. We all, for instance, right now, if we're speaking in English, this is a colonial language, and we're using it right now. If you're understanding what I'm saying, and I'm speaking in English right now, so like this. There are elements of this that touch all of our lives, and then there are elements of it that touch just some of our lives, right? So if somebody doesn't speak English, then this message may not resonate for them, or they'd have to have another intermediary thing or whatever. So point is that as true as this is, this also means that what resistance looks like to you may be different from what it looks like for someone else. And it may even be that there are parts of our community that are resisting, and perhaps other parts of our community are working on other important tasks at the same time. There are ways we can be building as community. There are things we can be preserving. There are ways we can be getting ready so that when the opportunity presents itself, we can start putting pieces back together, healing things up. Maybe taking this opportunity where the forest is clearly being burned down to rise up together and say, no, we're going to take care of each other whether or not the government is involved or companies are involved. We're going to just be community together because that's the choice we make as human beings. And so, under those conditions, for one, our allyship stretches across the whole globe. But also, we get this, this sort of like we're building a community that is made of human beings that is outside of our constructs, right? So even if the government makes itself irrelevant because it can't serve the people anymore, fine. Then we just have to, as a community, become cohesive enough along the way that we know what needs to be done to implement something newer and better when the time comes. And so there are some people who are in a position to resist. And for those people, you know, my gratitude goes out to that whole process because, slowing down a huge forest fire, which I guess I'll use that as an analogy, but slowing down the damage being done is super super helpful and critical to buying critical to buying time for the rest of the community to come together and start implementing, safety nets and alternative solutions and being able to organize to build community with or without, connection or support to particular companies or the government or anything like that. And this is a great time, I think, too, for us to be starting to build friendships and build relationships with people from other cultures, people who don't speak your language. Make community with these people. Be aware that they may be going through some stuff that you're not, aware of or accustomed to. So, a little extra sensitivity and proceeding with caution is probably important, just to make sure you're not accidentally hurting somebody with your presence there, or the way you conduct yourself. But beyond that, like, I promise you, whatever differences it may seem like we have when it comes to cultural things or language barriers and things like that, uh, every single bit of experience and understanding that I've ever had points to the fact that at our core, each of us is just another human being, and we all want to be treated well. We want to be safe. We want to be able to learn and grow and laugh and be cool, and that's like what most people want. No matter what other things you may see on top of that, what other package it's in, that's really who you're dealing with. So let's be building community. Let's build community with people beyond our borders too. I think that part of we already live in a global world. We're just not in the habit of really making connections, and some of us are. I think younger generations actually do a really good job with that. Um, but there's so there's so much more community, and there's so many more allies, and there's so many more solutions that are out in the world with our neighbors around the world, with our community around the world. And there are people who need help, and there are people who want to help, and there are people who are capable of helping, right? We can entertain each other, we can support each other, we can grieve together, you know what I mean? Like, we can heal together. So just, while everything is going on that's all crazy with the culture stuff here in the US and all of the authoritarian business all around the world, um, you know, this this is all pointing toward the obvious reality, is that we are moving into a stage of our civilization where we have the opportunity, the ability, and I would say the responsibility, if we want to continue living as a species on this planet. We get to come together. We're the first generation that gets to come together as an entire one collective human race. And I think both in the short term and the long term, that's going to help us out big time. So, let's keep talking more about it. We got a lot of big, heavy issues we got to deal with, and we can be talking about those too. If you got stories to tell, if you feel like you're alone, if you want to see how you can make a difference in the world, let's get talking about it. Send me DMs, share things around. I got a bunch of resources that you can, I got links in my bio and all that. So, I don't know. World's on fire. Let's get our first responders in the game, see what we can do about it.